Excuse me.
I'm Rochelle. Rochelle Ventura, it's nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
This is Woodrow over here to your left.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
I'm Mark. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Wonderful talk.
Are you friendly or are you
Oh, we're
difficult?
very friendly. We're very friendly. Can you tell him to do it again?
Okay.
So we're going to do a video interview, if that's all right with you. So if you could kindly look right at the pink camera.
Right there?
With the turtle.
You got it. Yes.
Are you rolling?
Uh-huh.
We are here again at the OC Business Summit with Michael Gerber. Michael, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. You just finished your keynote. He did an amazing, amazing job. You said many things and people's jaws were dropping. It was great. So tell us,
Yes.
one of the things you hit on a lot was about working on your business, not in your business.
Yep.
You said it many times. Why is that so hard for people to wrap their minds around?
Well, it's hard for people to wrap their minds around it because most people own their own business, or what I call technicians, rather than entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs naturally understand that. You understand, to an entrepreneur, their business is their product. Not the hamburger, not the French fry, the business called McDonald's, the business called Starbucks, the business called Walmart. So they go to work on the business called Walmart to invent a business that works better than anybody else's. Everybody else goes to work in the business to make the commodity, whatever the commodity might be. It might be a chiropractor, it might be a dentist, it might be, you understand.
Yeah.
And immediately they're lost. And so the really, really important thing is everybody is so busy doing it, they don't have any time to stop to truly see it from above. So I like to say, in order to transform your business, you've got to transcend your business.
Oh, did you get that?
Did you get that?
Oh, that was a moment.
In order to transform your life, you've got to transcend your life. And so if you cannot transcend your life, transcend your business, transcend the work you do, you never see it.
How do you maintain that sense of not disconnecting yourself from your business? I think that's what innately people start to hear those two concepts and they become afraid that they're going to detach themselves too much from it.
But only the technician is afraid.
Right.
The technician's afraid because the technician is a habit. You understand? It's my habit. My habit is to work. Doing it, busy. That's my habit. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it.
Yeah. You're
You
blowing
can't-
my mind again right
Okay,
now, by the
okay.
way.
So the problem is you're inside it.
Would you call technicians worker bees?
Yeah, right. We're imprisoned.
Yeah.
So we're born, truly born free. We all are born free. We're born, as I like to call it, with original mind. So we're born free with original mind. And then we become trained by our parents, by our teachers, by our peers, by our boss, to think in this habituated way. So we become habits. And we are products of our habits. The job is to get free again.
How do you do that? Simple steps. Can you give us
Awaken
some
the
steps?
entrepreneur within. I
How
have
do
a dream.
How do you do that?
Just like I'm saying. Say this, I have a dream.
I have a dream.
What is it?
What is it?
And go into that. I have a vision. What is it? And go into that. It's a process. I have a purpose. What is that? I have a mission. What is that? That's what we do in the dreaming room. So essentially we awaken the entrepreneur within all participants in the dreaming room with a standardized process. It's a standardized system that does that. Step one, step two, step three.
Systematize it. Why am I
Yes.
not surprised?
Absolutely. Well, if I hadn't, then I'd have to do it.
Exactly.
But
You're
now
not-
that I don't have to do it, everybody can do it. So we could have millions of people participating in a dreaming room throughout the world. Millions. Because this is not about any one person, it's about every one person. If there is no I, there is no we. If there is no I, there is no we. So the minute you get that, begin to understand that, you immediately transcend.
Oh my gosh.
And you begin to experience it. It's like you become other than the one I've become. Our job is to become other than the one I've become. this creature that's been created out of habits. Don't do this, learn this, study this. We're all told by everybody what to do and how to do it, aren't we?
Yes,
We
absolutely.
become the product of that because we don't know any better. Because when we're born, we're completely defenseless.
Well, Mike, where does somebody like me fit in this system? An artist where people only want me to create their portraits. What do you
Let
do
me tell
for
you
those
about a
people?
guy just like you, who's different than you. And he created a photographic business in the UK. And he's franchising. But he's franchising for people who aren't photographers. Meaning, the last thing you have to know about is how to take a picture. It does. Let me show you how it works. It is becoming the fastest growing photography business in the UK. And he's going to bring it to the States. It's unbelievable. And the complete opposite of what a photographer would do. So my point is, how do you do that? You start thinking, I'm a photographer. That's the first thing you got to do. You got to let go of, I'm a photographer, I'm a consultant, I'm a speaker, I'm a whatever you are. Let go of it. That's all habit.
Well, I understand that. I'm saying, but I love that.
No. Every technician loves that.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, I
well-
like being a photographer.
No, I understand that.
So
That's great. So do it. So do it for fun.
That's what I was wondering. So don't call it a business.
No, it isn't a business. It's a job.
Right. It's a job.
It's a job. Yeah, you create a
That's what I
job for
was
yourself.
wondering. I just want to hear you say that.
It's a job. It's a lousy job because you're working for a lunatic.
Yeah, me. I know that.
We all know
The
that.
light bulb just went on.
We all know that. Now you're free of it. So now you're free of it. So now what do? You go into the dream room. Now you might think I'm selling the dream room. I am. Why? Well, it has profound impact. When you're done with the dream room, this question you're asking will not be the question you're asking anymore. You'll already know.
A close friend of mine went through it.
The
And-
dream room?
Yes. And he said it's the most life-changing thing he's ever done in his life. And now his business obviously is thriving.
There you go.
So he's not in it.
Now, Michael, you had a great keynote. There was a great Q&A after.
Yes.
You do speaking engagements all over the world. Got
Well, I
best-selling
used to.
books and coaching.
Yes.
Was there one thing that didn't come up today that you think would really be beneficial for everyone watching the video to hear?
Well, it's really, really an interesting question because this is a Jersey place.
Yeah, it is.
So I said I'm a wandering Jew. So the irony of this is I'm Jewish here to meet with Christians. And somebody would say, and this has happened to me over and over again, yeah, but how do I bring my religion into my business? Somebody once asked me.
Well, I'm sure many people have asked you.
And the answer to them from everybody is you don't.
Really?
My answer is you absolutely do.
Hope everybody had a good lunch.
And then the question
And let's get to our seats right now and sit down. And
because if when I go to
very
work every
excited about this
day,
next guest.
church is at home. Follow me?
Yeah.
I take that off and I go in here.
Our next guest today,
pretend I'm
we're
not.
ecstatic to have him here. He's
It's compartmentalizing.
essentially
That's-
responsible
yes.
for
We're as entrepreneurs.
introducing
Don't do
the
that.
internet age.
what I'm saying.
So
Okay,
we're all
good.
working on
Don't do that.
the
There's
American
no
online disc, that
compartmentalizing is
iconic
a
dial-up
disease.
tone that really defined,
You know, at home I'm a husband, I'm working, I'm here, I'm a this, I'm here, I'm a this. No, you're all of those things all here right now.
his business expertise really is
So then
really
the question
matching
becomes,
anyone else. So
how do
we're very
we bring
humbled that
that
he's here.
to work?
So everyone, please give a big round of
That's the
applause to Steve Case with her
Well,
award.
that's the question. And that'll blow your mind when you begin to ask that question. Because I'm not going to give you the answer to it.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Well,
You're
well,
going to
what's the
discover
answer?
the answer to it. All I do is bring the question. You bring the answer, but you don't have the answer.
All right, everybody say hi.
It becomes the discovery. That becomes the thing that moves you. This is a question. This is Socratic. This is a question that moves me. That's what we live with. Questions, 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 questions. That's what life is. Where we typically live is with answers, 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 answers. His answer, her answer, their answer. It's got to become a question. Until you turn it into this living question, it just becomes a prison. We're imprisoned by your answers.
I love what you just said, the living question, because you're right. People came here today for business answers.
Right, they came for answers as opposed to questions. The reason they get frustrated is because I give them questions.
I know. You had people like falling off their chairs. And those are good questions.
So what can I tell you?
It was great.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
Woodrow,
much.
would you like to take us home with our final question, and then we'll let
You know, one thing I'm finding as a common thread amongst everything you said is, you know, courage. People have to have the courage to ask those questions.
Yep.
Is there anything that you could tell them to help drive them further to that?
The only thing that I can say to them is that, yes, me too. Me too. And the courage for my convictions comes from one little thing I once said to my wife. And it struck her so much. She said, "You got to write this down." She gave me one of those little note things. It's sitting up next to the picture of the Rebbe, the great Rebbe who's no longer with us. And the statement was, in response to the question, what do you do with fear? Because here's courage, right? Courage, fear, courage, fear, courage, fear. I create my way through fear. So the answer was, I create my way through fear. I create my way through fear. I'm afraid all the time.
Excuse me, you guys can't be in here. We have an interview right now.
You are.
Thank you.
We all are. And if we're not aware of it, we're asleep. But we're all afraid. This isn't going to work. That isn't going to work. What's going to happen when I get up in front of all of these people who've been attracted to this church? In my hat, what's going to happen? So we live in fear all the time. You get your courage from creating. I create my way through fear. I create my way through fear. And I begin to trust. He speaks. I don't. And when I say he speaks, in your case you might think whatever you think. When I say he speaks, I mean there's a voice inside of me that I've grown to depend on. I don't have it right there. I didn't know what you're going to ask. He speaks. And he speaks because I see this as an opportunity to communicate something that's important to you. Not as a reporter, not as a photographer, not as a, you understand, but important to you as a human being. You're a guy asking me this question. You're asking me this question also for them, but you're asking this question for you.
Most definitely.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not answering this question for you, then we're not alive here.
And I'm not going to lie to you, I love that hat.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. Such a treat, and I wish you were one of my college professors because I could just sit at your feet, for a couple hours once a week and just sponge up all your knowledge. So thank you, and thank you again for watching. We'll be back with more interviews here at the OC Business Summit. We'll catch you at the next one.
Thank you. Thank you very much.